Hey, everybody. Good evening. Come on in. Come on in. How are you guys doing tonight? We're just going to go ahead and get started until Shawn gets here. But while we're here, just go ahead, like, share, subscribe, click the bell button. I'm going to get some of the housekeeping out the way because I am terrible at remembering to do that in the beginning. So we go ahead and get out the way real quick. Shawn is doing some late night work at his job, so he'll be with us shortly. But until then, you guys come on in. Come on in. What are you guys sipping on? I made me a little pink panty. Y'all know I'm from New Orleans, so I'm a daiquiri type girl. So I had to get me something that resembles a daiquiri. So got me a little pink panties going on. Hey, everybody out here already. See y'all doing your thing. Hey, Octavia. Miss Linda girl, how are you, my lady? How are you? How are you? Crystal, what up, chick? How are you doing tonight? Tiffany, what's up? How are y'all ladies doing? How's y'all week been? How's everybody? I had my first real week back at work last week, so trying to get my schedules together and stuff. It was a mess. One sip of alcohol makes you sleepy. You don't want that one. You do, Linda, listen, you do not want that drink right there because first of all, I use Sky Vodka, which is a creep. That's a creep drink right there. And when I mean creep, it creeps up on you, like seriously. So, and this tastes like a nice smooth lemonade on, like a slushy lemonade. So you definitely would be out drinking that. We got to get you some water, girl. Get you some water, sip away, keep yourself awake. We don't want you to fall asleep. I hope you guys are doing good on this Monday. Start our new week off. We're going to sit here and talk about all things all things TV, as y'all know. Oh, yes. That used to be my thing, the Long Island iced tea. And then I fell in love with Adios. I don't know if you ever had an Adios, but it's kind of like a Long Island. It has pretty much all the same thing. Instead of Coke, it has, I can never remember how to say that blue liqueur. I can never remember how to say that name of it, but it has that instead of it. So it has all the clear liquors, no dark liquor, and the blue liqueur, and it has tequila in that one. Woo! They usually say 2 Adios. They call it Adios, mother, you know what I'm saying? But that lets you know 2 of those in a shot, you've done. Trust me, I've had many nights that we done been carrying people out because they thought they can go further than 2. It's not going no further than that. Trust me. Be careful on what you're sipping. Please sip responsibly. That means in the safety of your home. If you are, do not drive. Sip and drive. And if you do sip and drive, make sure you sip at the stop sign and not while you're driving. Okay? No, don't listen to me. I might get bad advice. Anyways, y'all, how did you guys, first of all, let's just do this because most of you guys are on Little Black Books page. How did you guys enjoy the afterlife on Saturday? I mean, we went 6 hours strong. So those that just looking at the time and like, I'm not about to watch this 6-hour review, you missed out on about a good 3.5 hours of us just going in like we do on our afterlives. And that technically is a short night because they'll be up. I don't always make it up because I have to work on Sundays, but they'll be up until about 6, 7 in the morning sometimes, just going at it, just talking. I don't know how they do it. You enjoyed it? I think it's a good thing, though. You guys get to know us a little bit better. We're just not faces on the screens spewing whatever out of our mouths and stuff. I know a lot of us, a lot of people just look at us and just, who is this person talking what they saying? They ain't got no credibility. They ain't got no, they don't know what they talking about. Sometimes, just like the people that we review on TV, it's more to us. Okay. And it's the fun that we have. So y'all just, we'll try to do it again. I have fun, there was something I was trying to get it up and I can't get it. There's a few things I want to talk about before we start talking about TV. I seen this post by Will Smith today. I really, really enjoyed it. It's up on some of my stories, and it's also on Another Round stories if you follow us on IG. Thank you, Tiffany, saying I look beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate it. It was a rough hair day, so I had to let it do what it's gonna do because I ain't about to fight it no more. You said you couldn't hang with us either. It was a lot. I couldn't hang with him either. I said I had to go. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm all caught up on it too. So we're definitely gonna talk about that tonight. I'm glad they're back. I'll say it like that. I'm definitely glad they're back. And I hope they keep going. I hope the show keeps making it. But let me see if I can find the post real quick from Instagram, because I really, really did enjoy this, because there was something about what he said in the message that I really, really took from it. And when Shawn comes, we might end up having a whole debate behind it, because Shawn says there's no such thing as unconditional love. I say there is, but we have conditions. We over time learn things, and so it conditions us to not love the same way. And so basically what he was saying in it was that he's in the process of using his life as an experiment to learn how to have unconditional love for one another. And I thought that was just very profound and very human of him, because it's not easy to do as you go through life and you start learning things about life that makes you change your perception on love. So to use you and your family and the people that are in your circle to try to find endless love within them, not to keep holding them to a fault for their mistakes and their failures of the past, and just move forward from that. That is very human, and it's very much what God intended for us. Even though we weren't intended to have mistakes either. We were supposed to be perfect, but as imperfect humans, I think that was very profound of him to be in this space of his life, to sit there and say, you know what, I chose these people to be in my life. And with that, I choose to keep them here no matter what. And I have to forgive them in their human moments or whatnot. So I thought that was really, really awesome. I'm going to see if I can pull it up real quick. So bear with me. There were some good things on the internet this morning. All right, let's see. Go to the post. And let me pause it real quick so I can share my screen with you guys first. But I thought it was so awesome, and I just want to share this with you guys. Oh, you bought his book already, Tiffany? Oh, that's awesome. Did you get it already? Have you read anything at it, or are you still waiting for it to get to you? Let me know. Because I am considering buying it. I really thought this right here was just something amazing when he said this. Let's see. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear it. I'm going to see. Let me turn the sound off first real quick.
You can't punish people for mistakes.
I hope you guys can hear it. Can you hear it?
It's like you have to forgive people. And a big part of that, is forgiving yourself. We don't forgive ourselves for stuff, and it makes it impossible for us to forgive other people. That last time with Daddy-O, I just learned what love is. Love is not punishing people and beating on them for what they did and hanging on to that trifling shit, that they did to you. And it's like getting out of being a victim, and Daddy-O and his death purified my heart in a way that I love life. Like, I love the opportunity to be better. I love the opportunity to work with people to find their way. And he helped me cultivate like an emotional invincibility. To love and to be loved is really all there is. And everything else needs to be set up to support that. You know, when you see things and you read things in the press and you don't understand exactly what's going on, just know that everybody in my life and everybody on my side and in my team and my wife and my ex and my children, what you're watching is an experiment in unconditional love. You can't punish people for mistake.
Yeah, so that right there, I thought that was totally awesome. I know we look at Will and we look at Jada, and it's just like, what is this stuff that they got going on? All that. A lot of people don't understand their whole thing of partnership versus marriage. Because I'm one of those people. I'm like that. I'm not gonna lie. I would rather have a life partner than a marriage. And I say that because the way marriage is in the U.S. is not necessarily what I would consider what God intended for marriage. You know, we get married now in the U.S. is more of a business contract. They make more money off of your divorce. They set it up so that divorce rates are high, and you know it's always an easy cop out. So for me, I would rather have a life partner, that's somebody that is really to work and go down this journey with me and evolve and grow and continuously learn to love me as I learn to love myself, and me do the same for them, continuously learn to love them as they love themselves, and just be my partner through it all. Like, you know, generally when you make a business partner, most times those things don't necessarily fail as often as a marriage would. And so sometimes it's just like, let me find me a partner that is willing to be by my side, a teammate, somebody that understands their role. I know my role. Some days, you know, that championship may not come because we're both on our off game. But if we're both on, we're always winning. So, you know, that's the type of relationship I do want. Now, if the marriage is involved with it, that's a good thing. You know, it's a wonderful thing. That part of it to me is for everybody else to acknowledge that we are in this union together. But for me, long as me and my partner is like really on that same page and we really understand this is us against the world, so to speak, or whatnot, that's where I stand. And so I understand him and Jada's thing, because that's what they really are in at this point. They are in a partnership. You know, you have somebody that you allow to be human, you allow to grow. You don't always fault them for making their mistakes, even if their mistakes hurt you, because at the end of the day, it's their mistakes. They're only going to be the only one to be able to answer to God about them. So it's no point of us to continuously punish them for it, especially if this is where we want to be. You know what I'm saying? So if you find somebody that you want to really be with, you can't keep faulting them for making mistakes of a human. You can plead with them, you can counsel with them, you can talk with them, you can go to all type of therapies with them, but you cannot punish them for the mistakes that they make, because you're going to want that same grace at some point too. You know, we all fall short. You know, we can't be sitting on these high pedestals that just acting like, oh, my shit don't stink and this person's just gonna love me no matter what and all that. No, it don't work that way unless you both intended to. So I would say be that for your partner, what you want of them, and that right person will be that for you and stuff. What you say, you would think he would be happy with someone else, but his mindset is to stick at with no matter what, the fear. You know what, Tiffany, this it's hard. Okay, so I'll tell you, like, from a situation I had with somebody. I in this process, and it took me 3 years to work my way out of it, but because I had a mindset when I went into it, that I was going to be with this person no matter what, because we didn't have no kid together. We didn't have any real ties. And so I just wanted to see if I can be with somebody for real, without just running away, because that was my pattern. So in me breaking my pattern, I did that. Now, do I agree he might be happier with somebody else? He might. I don't know what their inside world looks like, to be honest with you. You know, she might make him happy, she might not. They might have happy moments, but we as individuals can't find our happiness in other people. We have to find our happiness with ourselves. And see, that's the biggest flaw that we tend to have, is looking for other people to make us feel good about ourselves. And if he's just not happy, Jada's not going to be able to do anything about it. You know, he has to find that within himself. And, you know, I ain't here to gossip. It's allegedly that they kind of have an open union between the two of them. So however it works out for them, it is what it is. That's, he might find his temporary happiness outside the home, just like she found her temporary happiness outside the home, and they come back together. So, hey, whatever works for them. Let's just put it like that. You say, I think they were honest with each other. Sometimes you can love each other, but still be unhappy. Let us try to find a solution that's right for us. Exactly, Linda, exactly. You definitely can love each other and be unhappy. Love and happiness don't always come together. You know, if you find it together, that is a blessing. And if you can maintain it, that's even more of a blessing, because that's the hardest part right there. Maintaining both love and happiness. Maintaining love over a long period of time is hard. Like I say, you're constantly evolving into a new person, and you have to learn to love that person over and over again. And now you have somebody else learning that person as well as you, and you have to allow them that space to learn to love you, the new you. And you have to do the same for them. Just like he was saying about forgiveness. A lot of times we don't even forgive ourselves to be able to forgive the other person. It's the same thing with the love. A lot of times we don't even love ourselves to allow another person to love us, or to even accept the love that they do have for this person that they see. Because a lot of times that's a thing that we do too. We keep constantly battling with a person that's telling us that they love us. Because we're not in love with ourselves, we feel like they can't love us. It's like, honestly, they just might like that person, that version of you in the moment. So, until we find forgiveness with ourselves, love with ourselves, it makes it harder for us to connect with other people in a cohesive, productive way. Whatnot. Y'all see that mess with the baby and Danny Lay? Okay, I was gonna do a whole video on that earlier, but then I got caught up running around trying to make dinner, because I got a brisket in the oven. So I was trying to make dinner, get some grown responsibilities done today. Trying to be grown, because this is my only work weekday off or whatnot. But all I'm gonna say is to Danny, this is mother to mother. You need to do at this point what is best for your child. If you are seriously committed to saying you don't want your child to find a man like her father, I would advise you to leave that situation alone. Stop trying to compete with the other baby mama. Stop trying to compete with the so-called O's out there and stuff like that. It makes absolutely no sense to write posts to them, to even respond to them, because you're literally in the same position as them as you continuously stayed in this relationship with this man. You're no different. You were already out and you went back. So technically you're no different from the first baby mother or any other girl that he continuously messes with. So I would just advise you, for the sake of your child, stop trying to put your love and your heart into somebody that is clearly telling you that's not where he wants you to be. That's where you should be. Because if you have to do this much work to try to prove yourself to a person, to try to prove your worth, and he keeps doing disrespectful things like this to you, you're basically telling the world, because you're on a platform right now, you're basically telling the world, I don't care nothing about myself. And that's what your daughter is going to see. That's what your daughter is starting to feel right now, is that my mom doesn't have self-worth. Be better than that. You are a beautiful girl. One monkey don't stop no show. Go ahead and find you the man that is supposed to be with you. Your daughter, let her build a relationship with her father when the time comes. But that relationship between you two is dead. And you should let it be. Get you a nice, cute black dress and go ahead and sashay your way up out that house. You got money. Go ahead and get you a nice little spot. Move on with yourself and let his karma be his karma. You sit in that mess with him, you're going to get burned by that flame. You keep playing with them and his karma is supposed to be coming to him. That karma is going to hit you too. So just go ahead and separate yourself from it. Go be happy, be better. And that's it. You know, what up, Seaway?
Hey, I just wanted to say hey.
Hey, girl.
I was listening in the back. You was sitting.
You got anything to say to Daddy Lay the baby?
Man, that's why I was like, let me I had something to say about Will, but I'll move off that. But
okay.
Basically what you said. You honestly, I know a lot of people are mad at her. I know a lot of people feel like this is her karma. And honestly, it probably is. But as a woman, and I'm not a mother yet, but as a woman, seeing him put her on IG Live like that, put his baby on IG Live like that, and he know good and well that she hasn't even shown the baby, putting the mother of his child in such a vulnerable situation. Hey, Tiffany. That was disturbing for me. And I think all of us have been in a situation where we've dealt with a man who didn't think nothing of us. But what I personally can't relate to, and I don't ever want to, is literally 3 months after pushing out your child to have a man do me like that in his child. That was very sad to see. And I don't wish no one's demise. I don't care, even if they do have so low self-esteem that they would think that they're better than someone else because of the color of their skin. And honestly, that just speaks more to her low self-esteem than it does anything. That is the only thing that she thought that she had over somebody else was the color of her skin. Honestly, people should feel bad for her that is all she thinks she has. That is all she thinks she's worth. Clearly. Because look at the situation she's in right now. So
you said a whole word.
Like you said.
You said a whole word right there. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to show too, because I was going to talk about this tonight, especially with Housewives of Potomac or whatever, and that colorism thing or whatnot. That whole perception of that, meaning that I have this skin tone, so that means I'm automatically better than you. That need to go out the window, because people like what they like, period. And half the time it's not even about your skin tone why they like you.
Right. You know? I mean, look at I think Ready to Love shows it every season. They sent home Stacey last season. They just sent home Courtney. And honestly, that says a lot. I mean, people, especially when they get older and more mature, they're not really thinking about, your skin color. And if they are, that's not going to keep them there. Like with the baby situation, yeah, maybe Danny got more attention at first, but it didn't make him treat her no better. No better. So I really hope she learns from this situation, because first of all, you never give up your home. Never give up your home if you're not married, or you better know this person, if that's what you choose to do. To give up your home into an unstable situation is where she messed up at. That's where everything went left. You put yourself in a very vulnerable situation where you're in a situation where a man can put you out.
With your child.
With your child.
That's one thing you just don't. you right on that one, Seaway. You don't do that unless your name is on that deed, that title, whatever, that lease paper, all together with them. Especially if he's been showing you he's unstable from the start.
Exactly.
Like, why would you even jump into that when we was having that talk about the Cadola and Lawrence situation. You know, if you're getting these signs where he's not going to be there, even though I had a whole second thing on that one today because it was something he said that made me realize it was more her fault. But still, we'll get into that one. But when a person is showing you that who they are, like they say, sometimes you just need to go ahead and believe them.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has not swayed away. He has not done anything. Just because you take a couple of pictures, just because he sends you a couple of texts on lives, on camera, in real life, this man disrespects you every single chance that he gets. Why do you keep doing this to yourself?
Where are her parents? Where are her family? I don't know.
At this point, he's saying that they basically disown her because she has a mixed race baby, as if she's not technically mixed. Her dad.
Yeah, I feel like he was trolled. I feel like he knew what he was saying when he said that. Maybe they disowned her because they know you treat her horribly and they don't want nothing to do with it. Because they knew that she was going to have a quote unquote mixed race baby, even though, again, for the, not you, Jay, but for the ignorance in the back, I know, like there's a lot of confusion, but this is not a mixed race child. But I digress. Anyway, they knew that it was a mixed race child, quote unquote, let them have it. When she was pregnant, and they threw her a baby shower. So this clearly has more to do with how he's treating her than anything.
It's more to do with how she's treating herself by keep going back. Because that's what we do a lot of times with our family. It was like, okay, we done got you out the situation. You was here with us and now you're running back. My hands are thrown up in the air. I'm done.
Right.
I'm done. Like, I don't want to stand by you while you put yourself through this. And, you know, some parents, some people, some families are really at the point where it's, I don't want to stand by you while you basically are committing suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know which type of situation you're really, if it's this type of abuse as it is now, because this is a certain form of abuse. This is like a mental abuse. If it's this type of abuse, and I'm not saying this will happen in his case or whatnot, but he has already a troubled past with his anger. And you keep running back to this. And if they know her the way they know her, of course, you know, I don't know what type of girl she is. So she might have some anger issues herself. Two people like that is just a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. And somebody is always going to end up in jail, dead, or both. So.
Right. Look, the police is called and he ain't 5 seconds off of a previous issue. And you got the police at your house. Like everybody making bad decisions. But this is what we were talking about earlier. When you decide to be a person's third or fourth baby mama, you have to really think about why you thought you were different. And that's really what it boils down to. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I think we do know cases where people, you know, they end up being the fourth baby mama or fourth wife or whatever it is, and it works out. Because honestly, I would treat a person, if I'm your fourth wife or fourth baby mama, keep me away. I don't care which one it is. Like, for example, Simon and Portia. Ain't Portia gonna be his fourth wife? That wouldn't be something I would sign up for personally.
Right.
Why would I believe that I'm any different than your other three wives or your other three baby mamas? I'm not going to believe that. But some people want to believe that they are better than the next woman. And so they sign up to convince themselves that they are better. And then they get shocked when they end up and they're like, man, I ain't no better than the last chick.
Exactly. What up, good brother?
Welcome to our channel.
What the hell did I walk in on?
You waited, took over your spot, buddy. You've been demoted. We about to put you back in the back.
You look nice, Shawn. Let me see.
Thank you. Oh man, work was
corporate.
This job is killing me, man.
Look, mine's too. That's why I'm just popping on. I got to go back to work.
Oh man,
people want to be out here robbing banks. Can you believe that?
I know. Wait, before you go though, what you were gonna mention with Will Smith?
Oh, I was really liking your explanation of the difference between a partnership and a marriage. And I think what you kind of hit on, which you can have in a marriage, but I don't think everyone views it that way. I think the partnership aspect takes away that ownership vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times I feel like when people get married, they feel like they own the other person. And the idea of, let's say, an open marriage or just open lifestyle is so foreign to them because they can't understand that you can be married to someone and still want to give them the leeway to be who they are and love them for who they are. And to have that type of forgiveness and understanding. And I think when you are okay enough with living your life with someone and not necessarily needing the paper, I've noticed a lot of those people in those situations understand that concept of I don't own the other person better. I will give them grace better. Because to be fair, we all know it's 2021. People get married and have babies for IG. A lot of stuff is for Instagram or the dress or the big day. It's not about the work. And that's why a lot of times, marriages and this stuff end. So I completely understand Will and Jada. I mean, not fully, who does?
Yeah.
But I understand that concept of just allowing people to be them and give them the leeway, give them the grace and the forgiveness to walk through life together. Because like you said, when you're that's why these marriages who start at 20 don't last, because you're transitioning too much. And even if it starts at 30, it takes a lot of work to transition through all these stages of your life. And you cannot do that with someone unless you're forgiving and understanding. I do agree with Shawn, though. I don't believe in unconditional love. I think you only have unconditional love for your children. But I do believe that you can work hard at getting close if you try.
Well, that's what I was saying. It wasn't that because me and Shawn had this talk back and forth or whatever, and it was just not that he doesn't have unconditional. He's just in an experiment of trying to gain unconditional love for the people around him. So that's what I was loving about it, because it's like, it's very hard.
Right.
Like I was saying, after we start having things happen to us that condition us to love a certain way. And, or not love a certain way. But when you're sitting in it and saying, you know what, I'm going to be committed to this person, so let me figure out how to continuously love them despite. And so that's why I was going to talk to you, Shawn, about it, because I was like, when he said it like that, and I don't know if you want me to play it back. I don't know if you've seen it earlier when I sent it to you, the Will Smith video.
No, yeah, I've been at work all day. Okay. But I've been watching some of his stuff, funny enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he was just basically saying his life was, at this point right now, is just an experiment on trying to have unconditional love. And the way he was putting it, I was like, okay, I can see how we can get it. I don't think we can maintain it from birth until adulthood, but in adulthood, we can find ways to try to have it for the people that we choose to have in our lives. I ain't saying it's easy.
It's definitely not easy.
Yeah, his wealth affords him that opportunity to be so deep and jump off of bridges and go to the,
Don't hate on the man, Shawn.
No, I'm not hating on him. I'm just stating a fact. Like when you're wealthy, you have the freedom to be able to think so out the box, because when you're out here trying to survive, it doesn't work in a normal context when you're trying to work a job and a 9-to-5, and this guy is talking some very pie in the sky kind of things. And listen, like what I walked in on, I think you do what works for you, but what they're doing in their marriage, that would not work for me. I would not be comfortable in that environment or in that space. It's not something I aspire to. I love the fact that they're honest with each other. I guess they're honest with each other now, but everything else, I wouldn't want any part of it. It doesn't make me happy. I wouldn't be thrilled with my wife being on a public platform where her words are constantly misconstrued and having people look at my marriage in a particular way or looking at me in a particular way, that wouldn't bring me any type of satisfaction. It would actually make me upset with her. So, but it works for him, you know, but just not for me.
Mm-hmm. Shawn, you should see the smile I have on my face. I am dying because I already knew you was gonna come in and be like, no, that's a no for me.
No, it's a no. Listen, and there's people out there that works for them because that's their spirit. They're free spirits. They don't want to be. They feel like marriages, you know, are too constraining for them, and they don't want to exist in that type of framework. Have at it. For me, it wouldn't work. I don't feel comfortable in those spaces. It actually is the exact opposite. I'd be very uncomfortable there. But
I just feel like you have to find people like you. I think the problem is that people like you may find someone who is the exact opposite, and then all of a sudden there's all this infidelity in the relationship. Because half these people are in open marriages, they just don't know. They're in open relationships and they just don't know.
You know what they call it? They call it unethical cheating. So that's what people are doing. They're in it's unethical polygamy. And then on the other side, they're in ethical polygamy because they're upfront.
Or they're swingers.
And a lot of times, a lot of these marriages, I hate to see marriages that end just for infidelity when everything else is perfectly fine. It makes you think like, dang, if y'all would have came up with an agreement, y'all could have rolled out to the sunset, maybe. Now, I'm not talking about that. Like, I ain't talking about that. Like, I'm cheating with your best friend cheating or something like that. But like, someone gets drunk, they go to the club, they do something stupid, and then all of a sudden, a completely solid marriage is now over because of one bad decision. I think that's where Will's idea is coming in. Like, you got to think, if this is a partnership, if this is a real partnership, you got to think about what really is your deal breakers and what you can forgive. But I don't know. I understand what Shawn is saying too. I personally
I think
wouldn't like what Jada's doing on that platform. That part would piss me off. I think she's talking way too much.
It just leaves too much room for people to misconstrue, and then she starts twittering and tweeting. Oh, I got time today. Y'all didn't hear me. Yeah, but you're giving them the sound bites. Like you're saying things that don't need to be said, and it falls under the veil of, oh, I'm speaking my truth. Have at it. You know, prove the world wrong. Like, I just don't have time for that. Like, at the end of the day, we know the society and the world that we live in. But again, that's where them being extremely wealthy, it benefits them because they're actually going to make money off of this foolishness because of her platform and red table talk and all of that. The average person gets out there, it could ruin your career. It could ruin your lives. It could ruin your children's lives. So for me, I think not everything is for public consumption. And I think at the end of the day, like, you do what works for you in your marriage, but just understand that when you come out with unorthodox ideas, be prepared for the scrutiny that's going to follow.
Yeah, I think some parts of your life should be between you, your partner, and God. Definitely some parts of it you don't need to discuss. But then when you have people like them that their life has basically been in the public eye since way before the marriage and stuff, it's just another way for them to cope in a way. Yes, like you say, it won't work for the average person who doesn't have such fan base or such people watching them all the time. But sometimes when you're in the public eye, it's either one way. You got to be open in the public eye, or you have to be totally closed. You can be a Beyonce and Jay-Z, or you can be a Will Smith and Jada. So, and so it's just which route you're going to choose. I would see you, Shawn, you're going to be a Beyonce and Jay-Z. It's like, y'all see us when you see us, and that's it. Other people out here is just like, okay, this is how I live. I'm out here. I want you to know me, understand me. So what better way is for me to give you myself? And that's what Jada's really on. I don't know if Will is totally on it. because Will seemed like he would be more private and just give you the little gems that he gets along the way. But Jada is like, expeditionist. I'm gonna show you all of me. Here you go. So, like you say, Seaway, they need to find. You got to find people that are on the same wavelength as you. Otherwise, it's definitely not gonna work.
I agree. I really love this question because I think this question is really nuanced. Are humans built for monogamy? I think humans are built for monogamy in the sense that we benefit from a monogamous system. And that's why it's continued over all these thousands of years. But do I think that everyone prefers that lifestyle? No. I just think the benefits of monogamy outweigh choosing to live a very single, carefree lifestyle. And so people try to do both sometimes, or people just end up committing to one or the other, if that makes sense. Like, our society functions better on a monogamous system. But the fact of the matter is that people don't always like everything that comes with it. So they try to have their cake and eat it too. And then, we know what happens when that happens. That's what I think.
You want me to go ahead and answer now? Because I'm about to shake the table, as you like to tell Kia.
Go ahead.
Like Seaway say, it in most cases it does function better if it is that, but there's so many things that it was changed. It wasn't originally like that in the beginning of the Bible. Of course, it was for a reason, because we were supposed to multiply and fulfill the earth for that reason. And it's the only way that can do that is if the man is taking up multiple wives, because a woman can only have a baby every 9 months. So it's no way that we can multiply the earth in a quick amount of time unless he has multiple wives. Now, if we go with statistics and numbers and all that stuff, yes, monogamy would be good if we were on equal playing fields, but we're not. We already have the numbers off balance where women are kind of like up a few percent. It's kind of like 49% to 51% more women in the world. On top of that, then we have the alphabet community that is disrupting all of these numbers all kind of ways. And so we seem to have an imbalance and a lot of what we would normally have an equal partnership type situation. And with that imbalance becomes, men saying, oh, well, I have an option of 10 to 1. I have 10 women to just me or whatnot. So it starts to get hard. And then, we have these people that is just like, oh, well, in order to have a man, I might as well be a sister wife. And if I can do that in harmony, then that will coexist like this and that. So it's a tricky question. Like it says, it's all over the place. Are we built for monogamy? We have the capability of doing it. It would just depend on the circumstances. If we're supposed to be populating the world, no. If we just supposed to be loving each other on a one-to-one basis, yes, we have the capabilities of doing it. Do people actually want to do it for the most part? I would say, I can't even say this now because most women nowadays want to be all over the daggone place too. So shoot, it's just a my prerogative type situation with people nowadays. So. If any of it makes sense. Shawn, are you thinking?
Oh, no, I was just waiting for you to,
I'm landed. Finish.
Oh, okay. I think it's an interesting question. And I think I know it's possible. Probably not for 100% of people in marriages. And I think that's why we see these different versions of relationships nowadays. But I do think it's possible. I do think it is possible. If that's what the both of you, you and your spouse are focused on, you could do it. It definitely is. Now, if you want to, not to get preachy, but if you want to fall prey to your flesh, then yeah, it's easy to be non-monogamous. But, you know, that's the ability and the beauty of being a human and how we were created by God, is that we have the mind and the will to overcome our flesh through him and not do those things that feel good, because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, I go out here, I'm married, I cheat on my wife, and I have sex with another woman. It's about just me satisfying an urge, me feeling good, and vice versa. You know, if my wife were to do that, you know, out there, it's about an urge, it's about a feeling, it's an emotion, and that's what separates us from the animal world, right? Is our ability to control our urges and our impulses. So I wholeheartedly believe it's possible. It's just how much we want to do it and how much we value it. That's my thought.
I totally agree with this right here, and I agree with you too, Shawn. If it is about if we want to do it, this is the question right here with Linda. It's not really a question, but that is the problem why a lot of us don't do it, because we're living a lie half the time on what we really want in life in the first place. And most of us, for the most part, don't really think of that part. We know we want this type of job, we want to make this type of money, we want to live in this type of house, we want to drive this type of car, but we don't really think about what we want as far as love goes as a whole. Some of us be like, I want the marriage and I want the this, and the picket fence, and I want the wedding to be like this. But past the wedding, we have no thoughts. We don't plan on what we're going to be like in 50 years from now when we're kind of old and, you know, we running around with the grandkids and things like this. We don't plan that far. And sometimes it's not even that we're living a lie. It's just we're evolving. And in those moments of evolution, we don't take the time to just sit there and say, okay, what does the new me want? I know what the old me wanted and I got that, or, you know, I didn't make it to it. So now that I've evolved into something else, what do I want now? And sometimes we need to just sit in the moments and just really look at ourselves and say, okay, here I am today. How from yesterday am I different? And where do I want to be tomorrow? You know, but I don't know. That's just what I think about on that topic right there. Are we living a lie? Yes, sometimes we are living in a lie. What you say, Trey Mack? Your quick response is humans are built for companionship. It's biblically, biologically, and mentally impossible for us to be alone. We crave attention from one another, no matter what type of relationship. We do, but we're just saying, can we be monogamous in it? You know, in the relationship, even if we do crave attention from it, we just say, if you're monogamous in it, you're just craving attention from your partner. You prefer monogamy, huh? I ain't mad at you. You don't have the time and investment to invest in other partners. You can't be keeping up with all your lies. You got to just keep up with one lie, Trey Mack. Nah, if you don't lie, you don't have to keep up with anything. That's a beautiful thing about being an actual player out here in these streets. You know, tell one story to everybody, and they just got to pick and choose if they want to stay with you or not. Don't listen to me. I might be giving bad advice again. Sorry. It's not bad advice. You know what I'm saying? It's just unhealthy if you want to be monogamous. Just do what works for you and what your life goals are and what you haven't planned in mind, I would say.
Yeah, I think, and Linda said it earlier too, it's about being honest about where you are, because if anything hurts more, it's a lie. And it's when people, when you stumble upon the lie and now you feel like you were misled, especially in, you know, if you're married and you've invested so much in this person, and then you're finding out that they're out here sneaking around with somebody else. And the lies that they told and the stories that they made up in order to make that situation possible. And I think that's what hurts more than the physicality of the sex. It's what got them there. And as somebody also who's been in therapy, I haven't been through infidelity, but what I have learned is everything comes from somewhere. And if you have to lie to your partner, that is rooted in somewhere. So I hear Seaway's point about sometimes a slight act could cause a divorce, but it's usually not the sex with the other person that caused the divorce. It's the lies that led up to that. It's them seeking out attention from somebody else that led up to that one or the other partner feeling abandoned, feeling misled. So that's usually what causes the division and the divisiveness. It's the hurt and the pain that the other person feels that has to now live with what that person did. And a lot of times, listen, that's why monogamy is the safest bet, kind of like what Trey Mack was saying. It's the safest bet because, listen, you're out here moving and things happen. You exposing yourself to different people sexually. And if it becomes, sometimes it's one time, you mess around, you get pregnant, you know, the man could potentially impregnate the woman. Men are bringing back STDs into their households. So it sounds fun. The act of it is fun, right? You know, it's just a moment. It's just a this, but the consequences, you know, and that's just how I've always been wired, which is why, and I'm not saying I'm right and everybody else is wrong, but my life, I look at what's the risk and the reward, right? You know, when I was younger, I had a looser definition for risk and reward. So I was more apt to do more risky behavior, but I still was doing that calculation in my head. I don't think a lot of people are out here doing the risk and the reward. You look at Will Smith, we're talking about them and their relationship. They weren't honest with each other in the beginning. Will wanted a traditional marriage. Jada did not. He dragged her through that marriage. And then this is what happened. Chaos. And what I see from him is he's just trying to keep up with her. So he's just trying to find his way in this marriage. This was not his idea. And he's even said that at different points. Now they're supposedly on the same page. But even up until last year when they had the whole entanglement, you could see the pain on that brother's face of him having to think about the notion of him and his wife being in a relationship where she was having sex with one of their children's friends and having to talk about that in front of the whole world. So I definitely don't think, you know, and he loves her. So he's going to cover her. He's not going to throw her all the way out there, but you could see it in his face. You could see it in his body language. No man feels good about having conversations like that in front of the world and having to. He did it because they have to, because they live their lives in a public forum. But yeah, it looks like he's just trying to keep up with her. And I don't know how grounded in reality she is, because sometimes I think she's, you know, listen, Kevin Samuels has a very interesting expression, and I'm just going to use it because in this dynamic, I think it applies. I think she's building the plane as she flies it. You know, she's building it as she flies it. And as it goes on, she figures out something else. Okay, I'm going to add this new component. Ooh, that sounds good. Let me try that. And for me, I look at the kids, look at the kids and listen, I'm not talking ill of anybody's children, but their kids, other than Trey, who he had with his first wife, those kids are woohoo, la la land. So that's my little soapbox moment.
Nah, definitely. I agree with you on that, saying that she's flying it. But that's what happens when you're doing something untraditional versus traditional, because traditional is kind of structured. it has guidelines for you. But when you want to be untraditional and you're just flying by the seat of your pants, you're making everything up as you continue to go. Like you like to say, the goalpost is constantly moving because I don't know. I don't know what I want. I just know I want to be free to do whatever I want. And so in my freedom, okay, well, this is the new rule. Tomorrow might be something else. Say something, Seaway.
No, I agree. I mean, I think Shawn's definitely right. You can tell that Will kind of has been going along to get along with this situation, and he doesn't seem happy. You can definitely see some sadness in his eyes. But I think that goes to Jay what you were saying, when you start floating in the untraditional land, it gets more complicated to find your boundaries. And I think even when you think you're being honest, people still aren't honest, because it's like, where do you draw the line? Like maybe they could be honest before about having an open marriage, but it was like she still felt guilty about the fact that it was August, so then you start hiding stuff again. I think that's the problem. It's really hard sometimes in those non-traditional spaces to be as honest as you need to be, and then things still go left.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That was why that was one of my deal breakers on the Saturday Night Live, because that was the only thing that I've been through a lot of other craziness in relationships or whatnot, but it's the lying, bold-faced lying, should I say, because if I'm not asking you, this is how I'm set up. If I don't ask you about something and you hold the information, I don't fault you for that. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's something that is literally detrimental to my health. You might want to tell me if I'm going to step somewhere, it's going to blow up. I would like to know that information. But if it's something like you're doing something, I'll say cheating, for example. If you're cheating, but I never asked you about it, I don't want to know about it. I don't want you to volunteer that information to me. But if I do ask you, hey, what's going on with this situation right here and stuff, I don't feel right about it, and you lie to me, and I already know that there's something behind it, like, I don't ask you, I'm not the type of person that's going to ask you about anything that I don't have a gut feeling about. So if I get to that point and I ask you about it and you just literally sit in my face and lie to me, that means you're not only disrespectful, but you have no respect for me. I don't feel like you have much respect for yourself, because to me, if you can't hide things from God, why are you trying to hide them from me? I can't punish you like God. All I can do is accept you or just go on about my way. And if me going about my way is a punishment to you, then there it is. You need to accept that or whatnot. But if you lie to me, you're taking away my options and my choice for my happiness. You're having your happiness, but you're taking away mine. And so that's the most frustrating and thing that I just like. I don't know. Will is sitting in it, but I don't know. I don't know if I can sit in it, because literally, like you said, she lied about August. She tried to lie in his face about August. Like, well, you did it, and you want to call it an entanglement? Like, you had to literally drag the word out to what entanglement really means. Like, why do I have to do all this with you? You want it out open and on the platform. Well, be honest with it at least. So, yeah. I can deal with a lot, but if you're going to be lying to me, I don't know if I can deal with it.
Yeah, it's lying for me. And I guess that's what Shawn was getting at. Sometimes it's not just the cheating. It's all the lying. They got you there. But that's why I use the example like the club situation, because that doesn't involve a lot of deception. But yeah, I do think it's when you done planned and plotted and talked on the phone, and by the time you do all that, it's like, okay, now I'm looking at you crazy. Because how you done did all that? It's like, yeah, it's not even the cheating. It's like you was doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to go down this question with Trey Mack, Shawn?
What do you say?
You're on mute.
Oh, he said, I've never cheated on a girlfriend of mine, but while I was single, I was out there and never lied about it. Yet somehow drama will always arise. And then he says, why? It's not just my feelings or thoughts involved. So, yeah, no, I think I don't know if we talk about karma, we just talk about the way life works. Things this has been my thought, and that's kind of what I was saying, is things have a way of catching up to you. So when you are mixing around with a bunch of people, it's very difficult to come out of that situation unscathed, right? Whether you are hurting somebody, whether it's an intentional hurt or an unintentional hurt, if you're acting out, because you think about sex, it is the most spiritual way two people can connect. And when you're out here just abusing and using sex in that capacity, some people say soul ties. I don't know about all that, but listen, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. I just think at the end of the day, it is a very intimate act. And I've seen so many people say, no, it means nothing to me, and I can have sex and there's nothing. That's rooted in something. I think if you talk about it long enough, it's rooted in something, whether you are trying to prove something to yourself or other people. It's rooted in a lack of confidence that you have, and you are using the sex as a way to prove something about yourself to you or to to that other person or to the world. Whether you've been abused and now you feel like you have a hardened concept of what sex is. And it's not always abuse. So it's not people that are the only people that are promiscuous or have sex with a lot of people are all abused. No, but you get to the root of it. Trust me, that person, whether that person looked one way when they were in their pubescent times, and now they look another way in adulthood, and they're like, yeah, they didn't want me then, but now look at me now. You'll see that in a lot of guys that, work out and they go to the gym, and there might have been the ugly duckling in high school, but they got a point to prove because by the time they got to college, they bulked up, and now they want to go out here and get all those women that rejected them. And then they're going to just move through those women like nothing because you didn't want me. And now I'm going to get you, and I'm going to get you, and I'm going to keep it moving. There's always something, right? And you see a lot of men that are in the manosphere space and, the red pill community, and you hear their idea of sex, and you hear them talk about women. And that's where you hear like that red pill rage come from. At the root of it, it's because there's hurt, there's pain there. They're masking it and saying, oh, I'm masculine because I can knock down any chick I want. But it's rooted in something else, so that's just my little thought.
I also say this too, coming from a person that's kind of been both sides of that coin. There's this thing with the honesty. We don't get it so much in this world, and it becomes refreshing, and it also becomes a bond to the person you're being honest with. Because in their mind, even though you're being honest and saying, hey, look, I have these many other chicks. This is what's going on in my life. I don't want nothing serious. They respect it. They love it. But then they also take it and form this own opinion in their head that I can change him. I can make him be with just me, or I can do this. They're not listening to what you're actually saying. That honesty goes and they interpret it into something else. Instead of saying, this is what you said to me, this is what I heard. Is that correct? No, it's okay. You're being honest to me, so you must care about me. So therefore, I can take this a step further. Now my feelings are involved, and now the drama occurs because even though you were honest with me and told me that you don't want no other thing, I don't know why you don't want me. I don't know why you don't want to be more with me, because I stood by your side while you was doing this, or whatever. Some people just start to create these whole scenarios in their head, telling them more than what you said with that honesty. Well, it's already bad enough that we create our whole scenario off the lie. But now we're doing it off your honesty. And it's still, that's why the drama still comes. That's why it's still something more than what it is. It's like, girl, I told you from the jump, I didn't want no relationship. Well, you hanging with me day in, day out. You be calling me all the time. So I don't understand. It's just like, no, that doesn't make it a relationship because I never voiced that I'm in a relationship with you. That just means that I'm open and available at the times you call. But in her head, you're in a relationship. In her head, she's Camille. And you're on lockdown. And can't nobody else have you. And if anybody else try to have you, that's going to be a problem. And she's going to create a whole thing in your world, and vice versa. It goes the same way with men. You know, sometimes they'll be like, yeah, I like your honesty. I like the free spirit that you have and all this stuff like that. And then next thing you know, they treating you like Molly off of Insecure. You can't get a whole relationship. Something's wrong with you because you don't want to be committed all of a sudden in things. So yes, drama do occurs if you're being honest, but your best bet is to be honest and still give these people the choice, because at least at the end of the day, you can sit here and say, look, you made your choice based off of my honesty and my truth. You can't be mad at me for that. You can't fault me for that. You know, if you decide that you want to stick in this with me, even though I told you I don't want a relationship, even if I say it right now at the end of it, doesn't mean that you are going to be the one to change my mind to when I want this relationship. So if you stay in with me, that's on you. You're mad at yourself, not at me. And that's where I'll stay with that one.
Hey guys, I'm gonna hop off because Big Wall's kicking my butt. So.
All right, Seaway.
But I'll
Thanks
be
for
listening.
being the ready to go co-host there while I was out here working.
You look like you had a day like mine, so I'm about to go back to this. No problem. No problem. I'll see y'all.
We appreciate you.
All right.
All right. So you want to navigate a little bit?
All right. Let's get it going.
Did you talk about Candace and her lack of accountability?
No, we haven't got into any of that. We were just kind of pre-gaming, and we just talked about Will Smith and the baby and his debacle with Danny Lay, and then we got into all of this.
Oh,
so
okay.
We haven't really got into no TV talk, and so that's where we could start. Real Housewives.
Can we put our foot on her neck, please?
Oh my gosh! You don't.
When Giselle got to give you accountability lessons, you know it's bad.
Let her lead the whole room to Andy Cohen. Basically, like, you almost got your butt beat last season. Child, are you serious right now? And she's like, is that my fault? I was like, dude, your mama need to come up here with that pocketbook to slap you some sense into your head.
Pop her right up top the head. Pop.
come hit some sense up into this real quick, because she is tripping.
Well, it looks like Nicki Minaj is coming soon.
Yes, Nicki is coming. What? Shawn done jumped his whole self off the live. Lord Jesus. Yeah, Nicki will be there soon or whatnot. We'll see how that goes. I wonder if Nicki gonna get into it. I don't know what happened to Shawn. Shawn done checked himself out.
I pulled a U, Jay. I was clicking and I'm like, oh shoot.
Let me back
in. But no, you added me now, so I can add myself right back in.
I'm glad.
So yeah, tell me what you think about Miss Candace.
I don't know if I spelled this right, because I don't. What is Potomac? What is the correct spelling of that?
Potomac.
MAC. Okay, I was like, something don't seem right with the ick at the end. Miss Candace, Miss Dillard Bassett. Jesus. You know, my favorite word is accountability, and I think we just have to have a whole class, a sit down class with her, because she wants to go under the fact that all the ladies talk about each other and this and that, and she just so great with her, how she says she sticks the punch or whatever. She, you know, her jabs land or whatnot. Yes, your jabs land, but your jabs land below the belt, so you get deducted a point every single time. Like, hit in the proper spaces where they're supposed to be. A person tells you that your video is low budget, there's no reason to throw their whole mother in it. You tell her her business is low budget, you tell her her wardrobe is low budget, but you don't go and say her mother's low budget and then say, oh well, I was doing because she said something to me or whatever, I'm okay to say back. Like, no, that's not how it works. You know, you just, thank you, Kia. I don't know why. Shoot, I was running in adulting like Shawn today. But I do appreciate if it is glowing. It might be the lights. But but yes, you can't sit here and just be talking about if they go low, I go lower. Have some type of class about yourself or whatnot. You worse than the people that you want to sit here and, like you was trying to call Monique last season or the seasons before, ghetto and all this stuff like that. That's what you are at this point. And I'm gonna tell you the fact, no, you will not be talking like that on the street. Outside of that platform, you will not be talking like that to people. When Karen asks you, should have just came out, no, I do not talk like this outside of y'all, because you know that well, outside of the cameras, you get to hollering at somebody's mama is this and somebody's mama is that. That's an automatic beatdown on the street, because people don't play with their mama like that. So I don't know why you think it's cool. And then you don't even play with your mother like that. You don't even like nobody speaking of your mother in a polite way, saying that your mother is paying for anything. You would have the nerves to have these tears and going crying and everything under the sun. But you want to be, it's okay that I said that because she called my video low budget. And you have no accountability for any of it. You want to sit here and every time somebody get to say something, Andy get to talking about somebody else said this. Well, see, there you go talking about a body shame there. There you go talking about her hair there. You said she got an STD. Okay, but you have literally told people to die. Go F themselves. This, and the third, like, miss, you are a public figure at this point. You cannot hold that behavior. Unfortunately, when you put yourself on a platform, you have to hold certain types of standards. That mouth of yours is not as eloquent and what she called it. I can't even think of what she said it is, but it's not as great as you think it is. If you cannot find other ways to demean people than going all out attacks and just cutting them in the throat. But I don't know. I'll go on a rant on her. So go ahead, Shawn.
Yeah, I think my main issue with her is like, and I think, and we kind of talked about this with Ready to Love and some other people from reality shows that go on these apology tours, but they don't really fully apologize. And her, I don't really ever see her fully apologizing. And she's sat up there and defended talking about Mia's mother because she called her video low budget. Like, I think, and you got Giselle and all the other housewives saying, no, that is a disproportionate response. It's a disproportionate response to what the person is saying to you, right? They say your video is low budget. You could say you're low budget. Your marriage is low budget. You know, whatever. Go, whatever you need to say about the person. But here she goes talking about somebody's mother. And then she did it again at the reunion after she knew that there was some issues with the mother. And that the mother had a past and was a reformed, drug addict. And then you're gonna still talk about her. That for me, I'm like, you're just disgusting, because if you could just run around here and talk about people that way, and then She's like, oh, it's light skin privilege, it's colorism. Now you're making me sick. And then Wendy jumps on the same bandwagon. The two of them.
Now we did mention that the colorism thing is in our regard to talking about Danny Lay and all that, because that was a surefire way to show you that being light skinned doesn't get you doesn't get you all those passes and stuff like she's trying to say. And it's not because you're light skinned or darker skinned why Ashley gets a pass and why you don't. First of all, you guys are both in the same thing. You're both married to white men, but you're sitting here telling her that her white man is basically an overseer, which he translated to a slave driver, and you stood behind it and said, well, he drives his slaves. So you're basically saying that she's a slave.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you want to stand in it and just make it seem like that's okay when you're both living the same lives pretty much.
Except for Ashley's husband is a little older and has a whole lot more money.
Exactly. That's what I was laughing at. I said, so it just sounds like you're jealous at this point.
Yep.
Not so much. And you want to sit here and say, oh, so you're jealous of her pretty privilege or her light skin privilege because it got her a more successful man, so to speak. Is that why you're jealous? Because it's not, because we don't say nothing to you. Giselle is quiet on social media. She doesn't respond to everything that happens on social media. Mia got attacked. People spoke back to Mia. Mia's light skinned, at least lighter than you are. That didn't stop her from getting the same thing or whatnot. What's going to stop Mia from getting the same attacks that you're getting is because if Mia stops now, she would be okay. Your problem is they keep telling you about it and you don't stop. Things happen, but you don't stop.
Yeah.
That's why you're getting this attention about it, because your mouth just does not stop. Now your mouth done trickled on down to your Twitter fingers. And you think it's okay because you're saying it online. That's even worse. Because they're pulling up people's files from years ago to stop them from having certain access to certain events and things that they wanted all this time. We seen what happened with Kevin Hart. Stop doing that. You don't have to respond to everything that comes your way. That is your problem. It has nothing to do with you being darker skinned, nap your hair, as you want to put it. You want to sit here and say Ashley attacked your hair. We don't never see your hair. What are you talking about? She's attacking your wig. So if that's the case, just get a better wig. Damn. Shoot, but it's okay to attack Giselle's wardrobe with everybody else just because you decide that in this moment you want to do it kind of polite. Like, stop. And if I see this one more time.
Oh, God, the tears make me sick.
I'm like, child, the tears come like this. We know you acting, sweetheart. We know you got acting gigs lined up. We know you can cry on command. That's going to work perfectly in the movies. But this right here on stage, trying to play the victim, and then the next section, you blessing somebody out, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah, she's, and it's such a shame too, because she's a pretty woman. She's so talented. You know, she sings so well. I think she just needs to, you know, she's in a couple of little movies and stuff. Stick to that. Use that outlet for that. You don't have to be the villain. You don't have to be the person that always responds or goes deep or cuts somebody deep. You know, like at the end of the day, that has to take a toll on you. You can't just, maybe that's where all the tears come from, because she's so hurt, so she just keeps hurting everybody else. I don't know what it is with her, but I'm just like sick of it. And I can't take her not just being accountable. Even Giselle is like, you got to be accountable for something. You have to be sorry for something. You're not all right in this. There's no way you're 100% right. It's like she's telling fans on Twitter, shut the F up. It's like, that's how you talk to people? People that watch your show, that help you to be successful? So she's a case study in somebody that is allergic to accountability.
Definitely. And then you're talking about how you're taking anxiety pills and all this stuff. You wouldn't have such anxiety if you would stop trying to combat everybody that says something to you.
Yeah.
You don't have these people in the world only know that you that's on TV, that the edited version of you. You don't have to keep giving them that version of you. You know, even as much as we don't like Kenya Moore sometimes, we get a different version of Kenya Moore online a lot of times. The only time Kenya is really online attacking somebody is usually one of her cast members. All you have to do is keep it at your job. That is your job. You don't have to go no further. You don't have to talk to nobody outside your job because they don't know you. They don't know what you guys go through. All they know is the edited portions of the show.
And most people, like I've heard that talk about Kenya, they'll say like, oh, for the most part, she's a nice person. You know, they'll say she's a character. She's even Nene, her arch enemy, was like, she's good for the show. Even after they fell out all over the place. She always says she's good for the show. You know, and I'm not saying she's perfect and she doesn't make mistakes. She definitely does. She's another one with the words. You know, she knows how to use her words. And I think Candace probably is like, oh, that's my big sister. I'm gonna show them. No. Kenya is who she is. She made that lane. You need to create your own lane. You can't do what she does, and then she does it even 10 times worse.
And then on top of it, even if that's your big sister, you see how much it cut her when Marlo did the same to her and threw her mother in it.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, even I'm so sure that Kenya had to go to her and say, sis, look, don't do that with people's moms. You know, because I'm hoping that Kenya did at least do that, because it's like, Kenya, you had that same experience with your mom when Marlo did that to you, and you didn't like not one bit of it. So if you're going to let her get away with this without holding her accountable to it, all of that you did on TV must have been fake too, behind your mom. And I can't say that it is, because you really have a history with your mom. So I hope somebody in real life, her mama, Kenya, can't say Chris because they go back and forth all the time, but somebody need to hold her accountable. You know, that pocketbook, something like something need to hold her accountable, because
it's obviously you can't, hitting her don't work, because she just gets upset and then she really feels justified. So her mother popped her. Monique got a hold of her. That's not the trick. I think she's just really it's going to take somebody that she really respects. Maybe it could be somebody like a Kenya, that she knows, that has been through it, and that can say, listen, I've been where you are. You got to find balance. Let them see another side of you. Let them see the human side of you. You know, people like a villain, but they want to see humanity too. So let them know you can be human. Let them know you can apologize and be sorry and move on.
And you know, we never stress it enough on this channel, but she definitely needs to go and have real therapy, because that stuff that she had last year, she wasn't breaking no issues, no ice, no nothing with that stuff. She needs to go have real therapy with somebody, because like you said, she is talking from a hurt place. Something in her life has hurt her and scarred her to this point that she just cannot seem to just let things go. So I would say, from the bottom of my heart, go find you a real active working therapist that you can sit down and truly be honest with, so you can have some real breakthroughs, so you don't have to continue down this path, because it's negative, it's dark, it's negative, and you don't need it in your life with all the talent that you have.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't think, because she would have to see her wrong in the thing. And right now she says, and what she keeps saying and how she feels is that, oh, I just respond to people. No, but you why do you give people that much power over you to respond? Sometimes the best response is no response. And we've even seen that happen. Like sometimes somebody does something to you, they say something to you, you don't even give it life. You don't even give it energy. Huh? You said something? What? You talking to me? Oh, okay. All right.
I thought a broke said something.
Yeah, like, okay.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing. Like people get up because people are doing things to get a rise out of you. A lot of times in those instances, if you don't give it life, I've just found in life sometimes, and sometimes that's just mean because people hate to be ignored. Sometimes they do something mean to you. It's like, especially you're an adult. It's like, okay. Thank you for sharing.
Like they say, sometimes silence is the best weapon.
Yeah.
Kill them with your silence.
That's it.
Because they don't know what you're thinking. It's like, and to be honest with you, I'm not thinking about you. So you can keep your opinions and go on about your way. Thank you.
Exactly. I'm unaffected.
100%.
What was that? One of those reality show stars, she said that, Evelyn Lozada, she said that about Tammy.
Non-mother factor. Yeah, non-MFing factor. And then went to make the t-shirts.
With the t-shirt out.
Ooh, it was a classic moment. Exactly. I didn't like Evelyn at that time, but I was like, girl. But see, when
you got to be careful doing that with Tammy, though, because
but Evelyn is willing to throw them hands too. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It's like you guys have that mouth on you. You got to be able to back it up. All I can say is, if Candace want to continue to have this mouth, you better go get you some kickboxing classes or something. Because
but no, she's too. But this is her problem. She's like a chihuahua. She's like 5'2", 5'3", and you going after these women that are 5'7", 5'10".
Wait, that was the funniest part.
Where are you going?
Giselle said she's 3 times your size.
It's like, you want to throw salad at her? Okay, you just being silly. That's the chihuahua. That's the chihuahua that I grew up with.
Oh, Giselle had me dying. It was good to see Giselle and Karen finally. I ain't gonna say finally, because they behind the scenes, they be coming together a little bit, but having a little moment of, we're gonna leave it alone, but we know they be back at it next season.
He said, leave the short folks alone.
Y'all short people do your thing. Just all I know is that y'all better be out here. If you're gonna have these mouths, you gotta have the kickboxing at the door there. You got to have them hands with you, and Candace don't seem to have them hands right yet. So it's just like, girl.
That's what you see. What Linda said. She said, "Mouth and tears don't go together."
Look, unless you like me, because I cry when I get angry. So them tears, and they be tears of rage.
but Jay, listen, you calm down now. But in your younger days, you pop somebody upside their head if they did the wrong thing. Now,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't have a mouth with it either, though. Mm-hmm. It was just one of those. You gonna keep talking to me, and it's just gonna be. All right, now you want to say something else? Because at this point, I talk sign language.
I talk with my hands.
Right. I say, try Jesus, because don't try me, because I throw hands.
That is super funny.
Yes.
So we did OKP. We dropped that. That just went up yesterday. Y'all talked. I heard y'all talking about Insecure.
Yeah, we didn't really get into it. We were just because, like I said, we were talking about the baby and Danny Lay and that situation that just dropped off today. So we can get into this week's Insecure.
Did everybody watch Insecure? Put a thumbs up in the chat if you watched Insecure, the most recent episode. Octavia said, "We all know Jay was in them streets."
I knew she was gonna say it. I'm gonna have to make me a whole segment called "In Them Streets" with Jay.
All right, so Trey saw it. Okay, so we got one. Who else? Who else saw Insecure? You don't want to give no spoilers. I don't know if you guys heard, but this all the Married at First Sight fans, the reunion is about to be lit. It is about to be lit, so we might even do something.
Shawn is prepping his speech as we discuss tonight. He is getting
yes.
his
Yes, I got my petty bag. I got my petty bag packed. And I'm ready to unload my petty bag. For all those folks.
You guys don't watch Insecure? Oh,
Kia doesn't. Oh, no, you don't either?
Linda said you don't either. All
well,
right.
You know what? We'll talk about friendship because I think that is one of the common themes that's going on this last final season with Insecure. It is the friendship between Molly and Issa, right? And how it is evolving. They seem to be finding themselves back to each other in a little way, but looks like there's a struggle coming ahead. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're still finding their old, you know, they got back out there, want to mess around and have a little fun.
We're starting to see Molly being Molly again.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Issa still awkwardly that, you know, awkward Black girl, which we love about her. And, but at least in this episode, they were communicating like they used to, especially on that car ride. That car ride was a mess with the with their Uber driver and everything. So, I mean, you know, that's the beautiful thing about this season. Especially being the last season, we're starting to kind of wrap up the drama. And I think what Issa Rae is going to try to do for as a whole is just make it more positive to end with. Because that's how it seems to be going at this point right now, that it's going to have a more positive ending. And I like the message in it all because when you are really friends with people, you may have your falling outs. You may have your differences at times, but truthfully, you should miss your friend so much that you want to make it work. You want to make it, you want to fix it or whatnot. And so that's why, like, I'll say this for my aunt used to say that about my uncle. She would say this about the relationship. You know, that's why you hear a lot of people say they want to be friends first before the relationship really goes or whatnot, is because when you are truly a friend with somebody, you miss the fun you have, the laughters, the inside jokes. You miss all of those things. And so you want and you feel more compelled to make it work and fix it than let it go. Because a lot of times this person holds a lot of your most memorable secrets and moments. You know, and when you have that time, especially when you have a good girlfriend that you guys took trips together, you guys been here, there, and all that stuff, you want to continue to have that. You don't want to make new people and hope that it works out. You already know it works out over here. We just having a moment of difference. So it's like, let me just go ahead and fix that, get it back right, and move forward.
Yeah, and I like too that they have a good friendship circle that supports their friendship mending, because I've seen it where friends will fall out, but they don't have the right friends around them, or the other friend is like, oh, well, now that friend's out of the picture, now I got more access to the other friend, so they don't support the friendships reuniting. But I love Kelly. Oh my God, Kelly is so freaking funny. She cracks me up. And she's always finding a way to add some humor and some craziness in the mix. And she always finds her way. Like even in this episode with, I don't remember this random character, this girl, that Issa thought.
I know her real name because it's one of my sister's friends, but I don't
Yeah,
know
she
her
thought that
character's name.
was
Raya,
messing with the other guy, but I
Raya,
thought
something like that.
yeah, I love the fact that she just started having this moment, and you'll see that in friends groups. You'll have like that person that always goes deep or just kind of has some emotional moment, and you're like, "What you got going on over there?" You're like, "Just leave them alone."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I really do love her character. I think she is so funny. She's the friend you always want around because you know that they got your back, but they're also gonna always make you laugh.
Yeah, well, Kelly is definitely holding the show, and I wouldn't mind a spinoff with Kelly because Kelly is hilarious.
She is so funny.
She is perfect as that perfect friend. Like you just knew that was the fun friend. She's a friend. She's fun, but she also has enlightening moments to share with you to make sure that this is going to be a unit. We're always going to be a unit.
Yep.
You know, she's like that big mama of the group.
She's the glue, you know, like, and you like, if you look in you always a good friend group, you're going to have that person that's like the glue. You'll have those people that'll pop off that, you know, might say the unpopular opinion. Me.
This guy.
I was talking to one of my other friends, long friend. They're more like family. And I was like, oh, I got into a little disagreement. And they were like, you know, you're not for everybody, Shawn. Like, you're just not for everybody. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. You know me. We go back like Jan Sports and Lanyons. So that is it. But you need that friend that's like the glue. You need the friend that's always going to have you laughing. You need the friend that's going to turn up Seaway.
Yep. I was just telling one of my good friends about Seaway. I said, shoot, she remind me of you. She gonna keep this party going and talk her mess.
That's it. And wake up the next day like everything didn't happen. Like, I'm going to work. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to work.
Like, that was last night. Why y'all still talk about it? Definitely, yeah. You got to have your Kelly of the group. You know, she's always gonna be that Kelly is your ride or die.
Yep.
She's definitely your ride or die because she's not that yes man of the group. She's going to make sure she keeps you in line and your place, but she does it in a nice, funny, sarcastic way. You know, she reminds you of who you are and where you came from, but supports your growth the whole way. You got to have your Kelly in your group. If you're going to have your large group, find you a Kelly.
Yeah, I agree. Kelly is dope. And then even what's her name's husband? I can't remember all these characters' names.
I can't remember his name.
Amanda Seal's husband, he came through for Lawrence and with the sound advice, because like you need that, you know, you need that dude that's gonna just be like, bro, you're going off the rails a little bit. And it's so funny, when we did our Myers-Briggs personality test in the group, I showed up as a mediator. And a lot of times, although I will say an unpopular opinion, and I kind of don't mind debating or going back with somebody, I'm usually the one that's like, all right, guys, you know, let's think about this. You know, maybe you don't want to do that. You know, let's just kind of take a step back a little bit. Let's think about this before we jump all the way off the ledge and make a bad choice. Or, you know, I'll usually try to like bring some level of balance. So I thought it was cool. I like when he was like, yo, you're going too far with Condola. Like, first we're at my daughter's birthday party. Second, you're not going anywhere.
Shut it all the way down.
Yeah.
If you ain't gonna be cute, keep it on mute. For real. Octavia, what's your new business?
Yes, tell us.
You know, we'd like to know. Maybe we are friends here, so you know we can support.
Of course, absolutely. We want to support you. We want to encourage you. So let us know what is it? What you're out here doing? Yeah, and you know what? one thing I realized too, and I don't want to make excuses for anybody because I don't know your friend group like that. But this is also something I've learned. Sometimes you got to give people time to catch up to where you are. You know, sometimes you get excited about an idea, you get excited about something, because even me, you know, I started this YouTube channel, and yes, do I have friends that have subscribed and, you know, check me out often? Oh, 100%. But not everybody does. And at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? They don't have to, you know, because this is something that I'm doing for me, and hopefully they will come to a point where where they can support me in some kind of way. All of my close friends, right? But maybe now they've got things going on. So I think, like, perhaps if these are friends that have shown you, and that they have showed up for you in other ways, maybe leave room for them to show up down the line. But if not, listen, I learned an expression at work, and it's called the SWs. Some will, some won't. So what? You know? So some of them will and some of them won't. But at the end of the day, so what? Because, you know, we all have our ideas that we birthed. And that Kia, because that is the mediator in me. I think some people, yeah, some people definitely, you have one-sided friendships, and I think those are friendships that you need to evaluate. If you're in a one-sided friendship and you find that you are just giving, and they're not reciprocating back to you, then you got to reevaluate those friendships. Those friendships should be like any relationship, any job. You're constantly at a state of reevaluation. Is it feeding you? Is the friendship feeding you? Does the person only bring negativity to the table? You know, like what you brought up, Octavia, are they supportive of you? Are you guys able to communicate? If there's conflict, can you work through that? If you were to share with them that you felt unsupported, how would they respond? Would they be willing to hear that? And if you got a lot of no's coming your way, then you might want to reevaluate that friendship, right? Because you don't want to be in a unequal or off balance relationship, friendship or otherwise, because it does. Then you really do start to feel like what you're giving is not being given back in return. And then you feel, you know, you start to nitpick everything, because that happens in relationships too. You know, you'll start to see like, oh, I'm doing this, and this, and now you're starting to take tallies. When you know you got to take tally of what you've done versus what they've done, then that's a friendship worth reevaluating, and either have the conversation or cut them loose. And Sweet Entry, you said it. I think sometimes friendships, you outgrow them. People are in your life for a season sometimes. And I've seen it. I saw it in relationships where I would look over and I'm like, why are you still around this person? Like, what value do they add to you? When they come over, are they just taking from you? Are they just always wanting you to give them something? It doesn't even have to always be money. It's just they always want your time. They're always calling you for something. But you need something and they're nowhere to be found. So, yeah, those type of friends, those are friend vampires. I don't need them. If you know, and that's the other part of me, is the only child in me can just disconnect very easily. I can enjoy my own company very easily. So that's my 2 cents.
With friends like these, who needs enemies or whatnot? Yeah, I'm somewhat an only child because I'm the only child between my mother and father. But then I have siblings. But we always had this very big family. So I never had to worry about having friends like that or whatnot. So if you weren't a good friend for me, or if you were just a friend for the season, so be it. I never felt the need that I have to stay attached to somebody just for the sake of friendship, especially because I make friends as I go. And I am not the best friend as far as like keeping in contact, calling you every day and all that, but I have friendships that we may not talk for years, but when we do, we never miss a beat. It never seemed like there was any missing note in there. The tune is always there. It's always keep going, and it's always love. And this is people that have been in my life for, I'm going to kind of share my age a little bit, but they've been in my life for about 20 plus years now. So and we met in junior high. So these are people that they moved away, they got their own things going, and they're it. And I've had friends that I thought were my friends at the time, and they crossed me, and they just crossed out of my life at this point now. You know, they don't even get mentioned. So you know who your friends are. Like I say, most of mine was family growing up. So I like you, Octavia. I looked around one day and was like, wow, I really don't have people outside of family that are actual friends of mine. But I keep my life pretty small. My personal life, my circle is very small because if I accept you as my friend, you're basically family to me. Because I would move mountains for you. If I brought you, my friends are people I choose, the family that I choose. So if I bring you into my life at that level, you are something dear and special to me. Like I said, I might not call you every day. I might not do, we might not talk all the time, but when you need me, I am there. You need something of me and I can get it to you, I got you. If I can support you any way I can, I will definitely do that. I am that supportive friend. Like y'all see me, I'll be blowing up everybody else's stuff half the time. Like, yo, make sure y'all go follow this person, follow that one, and do this and do that.
Mm-hmm. You are that supporter. I remember for my birthday, you were definitely a big supporter. So that is who you are, and that's just the genuine part of you. And I see we got Kia in the back. And I'll just say one more thing before we bring her up. There's a song, and it's by a gospel artist named Jonathan McReynolds. I don't know if everybody's heard of him before, but it's called Make Room. And it's more so talking about your gifts and making room in your life for more of God. But it reminded me of what we're talking about. And when we're self-evaluating and looking at friendships, sometimes we have to make room for those new friends to come in. And because we're so busy holding on to the friends that have been there for 10, 15, 20 years, or however long they've been there, that we're not making room for that friend that could come in and really change our life, right? Me and Jay met less than 6 months ago. But if I was busy chasing a friend from 20 and 30 years ago, I wouldn't have had room for that friendship because I'm busy holding on to these other friendships that aren't always feeding me, that aren't always challenging me. And I think that's the importance of making room in your life. So that's my little thing.
I want to say this to Linda. She can't handle but 4.5 true friends. And like, you know what? There used to be a saying, and I don't remember where I got it from, but I heard it when I was young, that a truly blessed person will make 5 real friends in their life. And I mean, like real friends. I know we all like to call everybody a friend. I used to laugh with my daughter, be like, I made a new friend and don't even know the person's name. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we do. We say we got all these people that are friends, but like 5 real friends that literally you can call on, that is a truly blessed person. And most of us don't really make that many. We usually make probably about 2 to 3 at the most. So if you got 4.5, you're doing good.
Listen, know yourself, right? So look, know yourself. Know what works for you.
Hey, girl. Hey.
I'm always stalking your show at Book Party.
You guys hear me?
Wait, you're breaking up a bit.
I am. That sucks.
It's better now.
Okay, cool. Okay, it was those stupid earbuds. Okay, so I just wanted to specifically talk to Octavia, just give her some encouragement. sometimes we look to the wrong people, and God has an ultimate plan for us and for our lives. So sometimes we get so stuck on the people that should be, or we want, or we feel like that they should, like whether that's a mother, a father, someone else. We just have our mind set on it. But like Shawn and Jay said, you have to be able to accept what the cards you've been dealt, and you have to be able to, like I said, accept other people, because I know that it's hard to, and I'm only speaking because I've experienced this myself. You work so hard on your passion, you work so hard, and you feel like that the people are showing their love by supporting you, but everybody don't want to see you win, sis. Some people want you to fall off or fall on your face because they're not doing anything. They see the glory that God has on you before you even see it. So you need to know whose you are, not who you are, whose you are. So at the end of the day, what they're doing doesn't mean anything, because we can all testify that over this time, like I've had people that they will go and support everybody else. It was a post on Facebook or somewhere that said, you on Jay-Z page telling him happy birthday. He don't even know who you is. And you can't share a post. Like, Shawn, there's no excuse where your friends and family are not liking your page. It's free. They don't even have to show up. All they have to do is give a subscription. Just say, hey, Shawn, yes, I did. I subscribe. But people do not want to see you win. And at that point, you just accept it and keep it moving. But don't spend your time crying over it, being upset about it. You know, at the end of the day, you have to realize whatever God has for you, nobody can take it away from you. You will wake up and you will have people that you don't even know supporting you. I wake up now, and like I said, I was upset for a minute. That's why I said this is my testimony. You know, when my book dropped, there were family members that didn't, buy the book, that you had to beg. And do you know, a family member actually gave me a 4-star out of all my 5-star review. A family member went in there and ruined my rating. I was like, what? Really? So some people don't want to see you win, but you just keep pushing. You keep pushing. You keep pushing. You keep pushing. If that is something that God has put in your heart to do, you keep on doing whatever God has put in your heart, girl. Because at the end of the day, those same people will end up being your footstool. Those same people will show up when they think you're doing something. That's when they show up. Them same people that was hating on me, that didn't want to buy a book, now they all on my page secretly watching. And I still ain't really doing nothing, but they sneaking watching. Now they want to call. But let me tell you the blessing, Octavia. When you wake up and you see your post or you see something, whatever you're doing, I don't know what your business is, Shawn asked you to share, but yeah, share with us. But you never know when you wake up. That's the best feeling, when you show up somewhere and you wake up and you see posts with your name tagged on there and you don't even know the person. Who are you? You see your book or your whatever you're doing in magazines that you've never heard of. You're like, who are you? How did you get this? So God will show up. Don't ever give up on yourself. I'm sorry, I'm over talking, but don't give up. Keep on pushing. Whatever your dream is, you keep pushing. And don't always think of it as monetary, because sometimes it's a test. If you give up when things get tough, God like, okay, you're not built for this. So even when I didn't know what, I was like, dang, I invested in this book. I believed in this. It ain't going nowhere. But then you remember the ultimate goal. What did you tell God? I said, God, if I touch one person, I'm good. And he said, well, let me see if that's what you really mean. So, you have to understand when you make those prayers, remember what you pray to God. Don't be telling him them fake prayers and saying stuff that you don't mean because it sounds good. But sis, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, because your day will come. Shawn's day gonna come. Jay's day gonna come. Whatever God has for us, there's nothing that your family member or your friends can stop. And I'm gonna be quiet. But that's all I just wanted to say. Do not rely on them. Again, I got friends in St. Lucia now. Come on now. How about that? I got people in Kenya, people invite me places that I ain't never been. I ain't even got that many Delta miles. Crystal Lynette over there talking about I can come to her house when I come to Atlanta. I'm like, okay. I got people in Texas saying, come, Kia, like really like asking me. So at this point, all those people that hated on me, because that was what it was. They was hating because they seen the glory before I seen the glory. Look at me now. And that's it.
That's it, Kia. She done shook the table again.
In the spirit.
That's it. We love it. We love it.
Girl, you can rant on all you need to when you giving messages like that.
I like that when people be, like I said, because I was that chick. And I was sitting over here like, oh my God, the people, like I said, that left me, that deserted me, now they watching from afar. Almost I seen your page. I didn't know you were following me. The secret stalkers are coming out. I mean, like, for real. Like, at the end of the day, People want to watch from afar, and then when they think you're doing something, they want to come back in, and that's when they say you acting funny. Now I understand what they say. Well, you changed up. No, I didn't change up. You switched up a long time ago.
But see, the truth is, and it's just like what I was saying about when you're choosing your friends, your family is not a choice. When you doing what you're supposed to be doing along your journey, you're choosing your path, and along your path, your tribe will find you. Your family is not always your tribe. Just because you guys are blood tied together and everything like that, they're not always the ones to support you. The people that we chose along the way, because we are friends and we've been friends since junior high, they're not always the one to walk with you down these paths. The path gets real narrow as you go. You start to find that yourself is going to be alone, but at the end of that path, it gets real broad and you find all the people that are supposed to be there with you. You just got to keep going down that, because that is your journey. That is your walk, and can't nobody else walk it. And even if they are walking it, they're walking it with you, but they're behind you and in front of you. They're not on the side of you. You know, even the Bible quote says it, and I know I'm not the best at telling you exactly which scripture it is, but they say the road to heaven gets narrow. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be walking side to side. The road to heaven is narrow and the path to destruction is broad. So it's just, that's that same approach. When you're on your path to making it, it gets narrow. It gets lonely at the top. But guess what? At the top, there's a bunch of other lonely people that understood your journey. That's where you're going to be. And you start making new friends. So you just get up there, keep going down your path, doing your thing. And girl, if you don't tell us what your business is, Octavia, we out here trying to support you, girl. Give us the business. I love me a Black-owned business. Don't play with me. You welcome, Kia. Thank you for sharing. We really appreciate that too. You dropped a whole lot of gems.
Jay, what's the email again? I'm going to put it in there so that Octavia, because I think she's being shy, so she can just email us. And on our next live, we'll give her a shout out, or if she decides later she wants to come in and share her business.
I'm going to drop it right now. Like I say, you guys can always email us to, did I spell that right? Make sure I spelled it right. Okay. It's another round 010 at Gmail and stuff. Yeah, you can be in a room full of people and feel alone. And that's just because you're vibrating on a different plane than the people that you're in the room with, you know, but that's okay. You're in that room for a reason. And maybe your reason is to elevate that room. You know, somebody is in there, is supposed to be there with you. Somebody is in there that you're supposed to be attached to. Somebody in there, you guys are supposed to link for some odd reason. So just because you're feeling alone in that room, that other person that's supposed to be in there with you, that is looking for you, that's your tribe, they're in that room too. They're feeling the same way as well. So you just got to keep being you, keep shining, keep doing your thing. You got to keep pushing your brand. Like, this YouTube thing is not easy. I wake up with all types of topics on my mind and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, would you guys be interested in it? If I'm not here with Shawn, would you guys listen to it? Would you watch it? Would you do this? I have to get out of my head and just do it. I have to get these things off of me. I literally this morning, my prayer was to make sure that I got on here and whatever I say, it was led by God. And it was for the purpose of what I created the channel for us to really give each other, not necessarily advice, but more ways to think about things. You know, and you guys take from it what you want. I can only give you my experiences. I can give you the experiences that I've seen from others or whatnot, but it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you the way I did it. But there might be some gems somewhere up in there that you can take and you can apply to yourself. And you take from all of us. You take from Shawn, you take from Kia, you take from Crystal, you take from Kojo, you take from me, you take from Seaway, you take from all of us, little pieces of us. And you apply it to how it works for you. And you just do it. and you just go, and you know, all of these things will help you. I learn from so many other people. I get up here and I'm getting better at talking just listening to Shawn. And this is real talk. Like Shawn has this way of just going, going, going. I listen to Seaway. I literally listen to you guys and I'm getting better at talking. That is not my thing. When I'm just with my friends and stuff, yes, I can talk, I can rant, but I'm mostly a listener. I'm mostly observant. And I'll chime in with my little gems here and there or whatever. But me and talking is not the biggest thing, you know. I joke all day. I'll drop little things. Shawn, I'll let y'all know. I would text chat all day. I write. That's what I like to do. I really should be blogging, but my thoughts sometimes go faster than my fingers. So it's like, let me start talking so I can try to keep up with my thoughts. And I appreciate y'all for listening to me rant sometimes. I don't even know why y'all do it, but I appreciate it. You know, but you guys. Oh, Octavia, it's okay. I'm sorry. I just read your whole thing. I just stopped in my whole thought. But no, don't apologize for it. It is not only about you. I just happened to pick up and seen that, and it just inspired everybody else to say what they had to say on it. But, you know, like I said, I felt the same way. I didn't have many friends. I'll share a story. When I was going through my acting classes, we had a project to do, and it was to come up with a childhood experience and go off of that emotion. And to be honest with you guys, I don't have a lot of recollection of my childhood. I blocked out so much. Some things happened in my childhood. I blocked out so much of it that I don't have strong memories. I don't have solid memories. And I definitely didn't have a friend group until I got into junior high. I was moved around so much that it wasn't until junior high that I made my best friends. So for me, everything prior to, I guess, 14 years old, it's a blur. And I didn't notice I had that until I got into that class and we had that assignment. And I just really couldn't think of anything while on the spot. I couldn't get it. And it was sad to me because I'm listening to everybody tell their childhood experience and whatnot, and I didn't have it. So, you know, don't feel bad about where you are. Some people, the people that are supposed to be in your circle, the people like us, because obviously you said that for a reason, we're here for you now. Like Shawn said, we just met 6 months ago and we like clicked it like that. Don't know why, but our back and forth made us click. And here we are talking to y'all. Sorry, Shawn, I'm ranting. Go ahead.
No, I don't. It's not ranting at all. I think you're speaking to, you know, our people, our tribe, right? And I think that's the good thing is like these are safe spaces. This is the definition of a safe space where you can come here, and if there's something that you're thinking or feeling, you can let us know. We're gonna talk it out. And sometimes that distance makes it a lot easier because we're not right next door to you for the most part, right? So you can kind of tell us, and you know that we're gonna talk through it and try to figure a way out. And, you know, it's just so interesting. When I was thinking about the episode of Insecure, friendship came up, and, you know, I saw Crystal in the chat. She was like, yeah. And then I just thought about the different types of friendships and how friendships evolve. And sometimes how maybe those friendships aren't rewarding or serving us in the way that they need to be. So it's everything. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. We're all here in this on this channel, in this chat, for a reason. And as you are sharing your story, as we are sharing our stories, we're helping and healing each other. So it's a beautiful thing. So yeah. So
Amen. Yep. All right. So anyways, y'all want to move on to the next show, or y'all want to continue to talk about support? Like a bras? No, but okay. So of course, you know,
what?
Love. Y'all know me in a random. Oh my goodness. What is OAN?
She missed the entire episode of 4400. Is that a show?
Yeah, 4400 is a show. I never really watched it, so my dad used to watch it, and so I don't really know the show too well. I know what it's about, but I don't know it enough to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Ready to Love. Courtney is gone. Camilla's still
Oh,
here.
it means on another note.
Oh, on another note. Okay. All right, y'all know I'm old. Acronyms and me, y'all got to call my baby. I got to be like, baby, what does this mean? I'll be knowing, man. But yeah, I heard it was a good show. I know a lot of people that watch it. I just never sat down and watch it. Like my friend is telling me now I need to watch BMF, and I'm like, child, look, I barely finished watching you today.
Yeah, I can't get into that. Like I'm like, listen, we just finished Power Book of Canaan. I'm trying to breathe, and now we're into like there's like so many other things going. I'm like, I don't have the capacity.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, let me breathe. I'll binge watch it one day, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And
once all the shows
me.
start drying up, then it's like you can kind of, when you sit down, you can watch some of these other shows.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, Ready to Love. Courtney's gone. Camille is still here. We know more about Shawn than we do about Phil. Chat, production. I'm just gonna keep saying that. I don't know what's going on with the season. Used to love it. Yeah, I do too, Linda. I love Joe, and I love the show. See you. I wish Shawn watched it so I could sit here and talk about it, but we can't.
Well, you just said that, right? You do not need me. You are well capable.
I said so we can sit here right now and talk about it like right now, but
we'll talk about it
another time. No, because I don't want to give spoilers because some of y'all need to just go watch the show. But what
Crystal
you think is going to happen next?
Run the World when it comes back on. That was good. I enjoyed that. I like
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it has what's that comedian's name? She's so funny. She's a petite girl. Her name just went out of my head too. Is her name begin with a B?
Oh, Brescia Webb. Okay.
Yes, Brescia Webb. Yes, exactly. Crystal always got the name. She knows.
Yeah, I never.
Brescia Webb. She's in it. There's another girl she's not as famous. But yeah, it's good. It's good. And they're all like in the city and living their lives. It's like the Black Sex in the City.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard of it, but I'll have to check it out wherever I can. Is it on like Netflix or Hulu or something?
It comes on Stars.
Okay, so Hulu. I don't know. Do I have Stars? I have Showtime. I don't think I have Stars. So that's probably
that's another show. Queens. I DVR'd the first 2 episodes, and I haven't been able to sit down and watch it. Yeah. I also like cop shows, so I'm like backed up on Blacklist. So I need to get caught up on that, the most recent season of the Blacklist. I watch Queen Latifah and The Equalizer that comes on Sundays. So yeah, and then this week they messed up our Love and Marriage Huntsville because they showed they positioned it like it was a new episode, but it wasn't a new episode.
Didn't they say something about the Martell and melody of it all?
Yeah, so I was annoyed with that. That messed me up. Oh, Kia, please, whenever you get ready with Mama's Boy, I'll get on your channel. I went on Kia's channel.
I watched that when she was talking about it. I seen you up in the chat. You was all with it. I was like, I don't know what this show.
Oh man, Mama, and I'm mad the way it ended because I wanted to see some more. Those dudes are nuts.
I'm gonna have to check it out when I get some time. You know, me back at work, it make it hard for me to enjoy watching and enjoy stuff. or whatnot. So we'll figure it out. Because sometimes I'll be trying to watch stuff while I'm at work. But I can't totally watch it. I got to just listen more so that's why I listen to you guys on YouTube talk about the shows and stuff. What I'm waiting for to come back is growing up hip hop, so I can see what's going on with Egypt and Sam. I don't know why I'm so invested into their relationship right now. I'm just like, I don't want them. Egypt and Sam.
Who's that?
Pepper and Trench's daughter with that.
Oh, I had to let that show go.
Yeah,
I had to make room. That was me making room. I had to let go of all the Love and Hip Hops. I let go of Growing Up Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop, I let go. Growing Up Hip Hop, not so much.
Yeah, I just let that go this year because I just didn't have any more capacity.
They're saying that Angela, I think there was supposed to be talks of Angela trying to get on Housewives of Atlanta, though.
I did hear that.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
I did hear that. Yeah, the whole thing, like I saw the beginning of how Sam was, in previous seasons, how he was just manipulating her, and I couldn't stand to watch it anymore. It was just making me sick to my stomach. And it's almost like, I guess she's grown, and the parents, it's very difficult to tell a 21-year-old how to live their life, but it just made me so sick to see him manipulating and grooming her the way he was.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I'm the same way, Tree. I got to binge watch at this point now. I'm just like, y'all need to just give me a Netflix where it's 10 episodes. I can watch them all in one night and let me go. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get back. Because like I said, I don't know why I'm so invested in their relationship. I just kind of want it to end. I need closure. I need closure for some odd reason on this relationship. I need it to stop.
So good luck. I hope you get it. Let me know when it happens. But I'm not believing it. Movies. The Lady in the Sun says, "What about movies?" Since the pandemic, I haven't been out to any movies, but I love all of the X-Men, any X-Men movie, anything action. I am looking forward to James Bond.
I didn't go see that. I was looking forward to it, but I didn't go see that. I did go see Venom 2, which I feel like they changed the voice of Venom, and I wasn't happy about that. But I'm a Woody make sure I don't say the wrong one. Woody Harrelson fan. I don't want to say Woody Allen, but I'm a Woody Harrelson. I'm a Woody Harrelson fan, so I like to support him just because I love him so much. Because one of my other favorite movies outside of Usual Suspect is Zombieland. And I think he is a nut up in that movie. The Harder They Fall, yes, I watched that and I love it. I'm trying to get Shawn to go watch it, but he said he ain't got 2 hours to invest in
I started watching it, but then it disturbed me when they start I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but the beginning scene just ruined it for me. But I'm gonna go back and watch it.
No, get into it.
I got into like the first 10-15 minutes because I like Regina King.
No, yeah, she's so freaking dope. I got to work with her one time in person, and I was like, oh, she's so awesome, beautiful woman, but beautiful. But no, you got to watch it, Shawn.
I will.
Such Black excellence through the whole thing, and I love it because I like to watch like people that do like the inside reviews and backstories of stuff. So they basically, even though all the characters were real life characters, they didn't all meet at the same time. They were different time frames
from different time periods.
Yeah, but they bring them all to life. And when you hear like the backstories, when you go behind it and you hear their little stories and all that, you like, oh my God, these were some real like doing it at the time people. Like they was really up, and some of them don't have the bad rep that the movie might have gave them or whatnot, but a lot of them are mixed Indian Black characters and stuff from our time period, and it was just like lovely to watch them all in the movie and be brought to life by Idris Elba, Regina King. I never could say her name right, but she's my girl from Game of Thrones or whatnot. I mean, not Game of Thrones, but what's the one with why I can't think of his name? Atlanta. I can't say her name. I don't know why I can't never say her name because she has a pretty unique name. But her, Lakeith Stanfield, even Deion Cole is up in it. Like they have, Damian Wayne's son is up in it, looking just like his daddy and stuff. Looking just like his daddy, sound like him too. It is such a good movie though. Y'all should watch it. Shawshank Redemption is my sister's favorite movie. That is her all-time favorite. She loves that movie. Okay, Bambi, you being just all the way rude now.
What's the name of the train? That's what Crystal said. Was there a train in there?
It's at the very big, kind of like in this part. You have to get to it. There is a train because they, a lot of stuff was they talk
As
about
a
it in this
historical
one review.
reference or something.
Yeah, they talk about it in this one review because a lot of things took place, like they say in the review. Even though it seems like it's C.A. Boseman, yeah, a lot of they say like a lot of the movie takes place as far as like saying setting up bank robbery, but when you watch this behind the thing, they let you know in history bank robberies wasn't the biggest thing, but it was more so train robberies or whatnot. So because trains would hold the cargo, it would hold the banknotes, it would hold prisoners, it would hold gold and everything and be in transportation. So a lot of robberies really did occur on trains more so than banks. But in this one they kind of stage it up as bank robbery or whatnot. But it was good. And then you get the all black town. And you get the history of that, even though this particular town wasn't an actual town, but there were many of them that we already know that end up getting destroyed and demolished over time. So
yeah, I'm gonna go and watch it for sure. Yes, Kia, we watched Queen Sugar, and she loves it. So does Jay. Oh no, you love Hollywood. Jay loves Kofi's character's name.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Ralph Angel.
Yeah, I like Kofi. I think Kofi is a nice guy. He's too young, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what other movies. I mean, other than what I had waited for, which I was slight way disappointed, but not A Quiet Place 2. I wasn't totally disappointed, but I kind of was. What happened?
The Lady in the Sunset. Ralph is in her hit list, right?
Oh, damn. Don't be out here Remy folks writing down names and scratching them off. When
He's in your top 5, huh, Lady in the Sun?
Oh, you did meet him? He seems like he's really nice. I'm gonna put this out here. Yeah, I want to do an interview with him only because he speaks on mental health and stuff, and I want to do a segment on that. And so I would love it. You were being so sweet, and be for the fact that everybody keeps trying to act like me and my 21-year-old daughter is about the same age. Thank you, but I know I'm nobody's 19, baby. I was way more finer at 19. No, just playing. He's lucky he's sexy. That's keeping him from being totally killed off the Lady in the Sun. Yeah, he did talk about having 2 brothers. I didn't know that they act 2, but he did talk about having 2 older brothers. He's the youngest, and this is part of the reason I want to interview him because he did it with Issa Rae, and he was talking about how he grew up kind of like chubby, and so he was insecure about his weight, and so that played into his mental health over some time. And he said even when he lost the weight, his mental state, he thought it would improve his mental state, but it just didn't. And so that's kind of like why he got into acting and the arts, because that was his way to express himself and get a lot that he was feeling on the inside out. And I think that is like awesome, because we do have a lot of people that take arts, I'm going to say, as far as like music, painting, real life art as an acting, and they do it as an escape from their own mental pressures. but sometimes those mental pressures never go away. And I want to have a discussion on how do they deal with it, because it's just like you're having another drug, you're putting a new drug in your system. So when I finish this painting, when I finish this scene, when I finish this song, what then? How do you cope then? Because the high is gone now. Do you go for looking for another high? Do you keep going? And then when that high doesn't reach you, what happens? We have a lot of comedians that tell jokes day in and day out, but their jokes is really based off of their real life history. And so how do you keep going on in life, having to repeat the same thing and literally having people laugh at you? At some point you may be healed enough to laugh with them, but for the most part, they're laughing at you. And how do you cope, especially if you're one of those people that don't do the drinking or do the drugs or whatnot? And then we've seen a lot of them are passing away because they are overdosing. They're overindulging in these other things to cope with making us laugh. And so I want to do a whole special on that. So I'm just going to put in fruition that the people that I've been reaching out to, that we can actually start to make it happen, and it will happen. And we can start getting people to really be concerned about our friends that are entertaining us. Because it's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy to snap out of those characters. We lost Keith Fletcher. You guys know me in names. I'm the worst. Keith Fletcher. I'm gonna leave it alone. We lost him because he couldn't snap out of the role of the Joker. You know what I'm saying? We lost Robin Williams for some odd reason, and it's just, depression is real. Mental health is real, and so we need to really, really start having the community, like these talks about helping them cope, and not just being there for the laugh of it all, but really being there for them in these moments, because some of these stories that they tell us is really not that funny. I know we laugh at Richard Pryor basically saying he burnt himself up, but that wasn't funny. Like, really, when you think about it, when you really, really, as Kojo would say, deep it, it's not funny that you literally almost killed yourself because of your drug habit. That's a cry for help. And yes, sometimes the drugs and the alcohol make us funnier than we really might be, but that's something serious. If I'm getting on stage and I'm telling you I almost killed myself because of I was sitting there so high one night I dropped a cigar on me, and that's crazy. So we gotta do better as a people at recognizing the signs of depression and real suicidal tendencies in people or whatnot. Good night, Tiffany. Sorry if we keeping you up or boring you. But we got to have these talks. We have to have more of it. Exactly, Kia. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, where they're making us laugh at their expense. So, I want to just shed some light on that. Who is thirsty much? I got a whole drink right here. And some water.
He's talking about your earlier comments with Kofi.
I told you already, he's too young for me. He at my daughter's age, and she got a man already, so I can't even make that happen. I would have tried though. He is way too young. I likes me a grown man. He might be mature in the head, but I likes a grown man that don't want no kids at this point, because I can't give them to him. We can adopt though. Sean gonna let me rant, so I'm gonna just rant. That's
we
awesome.
Appreciate you, Tiffany.
Thank you, boo. Was it the depression that inspired your book, or just talking about mental health altogether, Kia? We'll answer this question in the meantime. Why do you think celebrities are so likely to do drug abuse? You want to take it first, Shawn, or?
I think that I mean, I'll talk about part of it of what I think, and I think that they get access and exposed to so much that it's almost like why do people who win the lottery end up broke so often? And it's because they got too much too quick. And I think that's what happens to celebrities is they get so much too quick, and so they're always chasing that feeling. And what's another way to recreate euphoria and excitement is through drugs, and that's all in that industry. So I think, I don't think that's the only reason, but I think that's a big part of it. And you get so much adoration, as a celebrity. You're so used to getting, people praise you, and then when it goes away, you're left with yourself, and then you use the drugs to fill that void. So that's one of the reasons, I think. Some of the reasons.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the biggest reasons that I have seen is accessibility of it all. It's there. You go to parties, is there. You go places, is there. And peer pressure, you want to fit in. You don't want to feel like the oddball of your group, of your community. Um, so that plays a lot to it when the person doesn't have a strong foundation around them, a solid team around them. It's easy to just sit there and say, I want to make friends. And what better way to do it is to do what they're doing and join into it. If you're a kid, actor, or actress, you get exposed to these things at a much early age. You're in a lot of places that you're not supposed to be at a lot early age. And a lot of these places are adult atmosphere where drugs and alcohol are literally present. And it's not as open as it was, I would say, back in the day, like in the 70s or something like that, where, certain drugs were just on the table. But there's always somebody in the room having something, holding something, or whatnot. And if you're one of those people that want to just get along to get along, or you just want to try everything just because they have it, that's how it ends up happening. Um, Other people, it was a coping mechanism that they had before they became a celebrity. It was something that they were dealing to cope with whatever childhood, something that they went through before. And, it just carried over the fact that they got more money. That's what it is. So it's a number of reasons, but those are some of the ones Shawn said is like the number one reason, accessibility.
And Linda, you touched on something too about, people who feel things too deeply are at risk, because especially actors, right? They are constantly tapping into different aspects of themselves and changing themselves into other people and other characters. And a lot of times they get so into these roles that they lose themselves. And they lose sight of reality because they're so immersed in portraying these characters. So to try to bring themselves back, sometimes people struggle with that. And that's where the drug use comes from. Some people are depressed, right? And they get access to drugs that help them. And then they get addicted to a lot of those drugs, and they overuse them and abuse them. That's another thing, right? Because they have access to doctors and all types of medicine and prescription drugs that are designed for one thing but can be used for recreational reasons. So I think that's something else. And then before you know it, people, and this happens to real life to people, and that's how people get hooked on prescription drugs, right? They make it an injury or have a surgery, and then they start taking Percocet or all these other types of pills. And then before you know it, they're taking it recreationally. So, these are things you got to be careful about. You got to be careful what you take in your body. You got to be careful, if you are given a prescription, you want to use the dosage and make sure you don't leave it hanging around for yourself or for anybody else. Because a lot of these things out there that can help us also can hurt us if used the wrong way. So I think that's definitely a part of it. What are you saying, Trey Mac? It says celebrity and drugs partially from the same reason why we crave attention so much, yet most people aren't built or equipped to handle the attention. Okay, peer pressure plays a factor as well, right? Yeah, because listen, we see the celebrity world, right? We pick them up, but then we knock them right down off that perch. And people love to see that. They love to build people up and then chip right away at them. So there's human beings behind that. And I think when they're on their way up, not everybody remembers what it was when they weren't at that place. Sometimes people forget. And you see the celebrities that have long-lasting careers, they maintain an element of humility, like a Regina King. She's been a child actor and now she's, 50. But there's humility in her attitude. There's, a relatability in her demeanor and her spirit, and she doesn't come off as thinking she's better than anybody else. Now, I don't know her from a can of paint, but that's the impression that I get, and she seems to be a very grounded person. So definitely think you see the celebrities that don't fall prey to those things really have a good support system, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Good friends, good family members that keep them grounded and help them.
That's definitely what I was going to say, Shawn, that it's that support system, especially when you're a child actor. If you got a good team, usually with child actors, the ones that tend to fall prey to drug abuse and stuff, their parents weren't so present in their lives or whatnot. You can see like Raven Simone, her team kept her from being like most child actors and stuff. Justin Timberlake's mom kept him away from a lot of stuff. So sometimes when that separation between the parent and the child occurs too soon, and now you just have what they call the machine, but which is management and representation, and they're not very strong-minded or strong-willed to make sure your child is protected. A lot of times these children fall into the trap of being exposed to drugs a lot earlier. Excuse me, I'm about to switch rooms real quick. Hold on.
That's right, Crystal. Let's drop your trailer. Crystal has a trailer out. Let me see if I can. Get it.
One second, guys. Hold on.
Okay, here it is.
Bill. Hey, Bill.
Let's have a little. Can everybody see?
Keep my name up, I show my cause I go hard like it's a drop.
That's a bad lead.
I think the house is down there.
Sir, I know you didn't listen to that.
I don't know about this.
Bob!
Tea time tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Everything seems normal to me.
Yeah, so far.
What is she looking at? What is she looking at?
Now you just saw that lady looking right at me.
I didn't see nothing. You're doing too much.
Okay.
Hey, Bill. Bill. Hey, Bill.
Oh, hey, Karen. How's everything going?
You still like me over here so much?
Yes, it's nice.
Well, clearly something wrong with you.
Everything's going okay, I guess. I just came from the hardware store. Bill wants to change the locks since the incident. You know, everyone's on edge since Mr. Johnson went missing.
I know. You know, my phone's been ringing nonstop since, you know who moved in.
I know exactly who you mean. The zombies.
Well, as president of the Cloverleaf HOA, I promise you, all of the neighbors of this community, that I will get to the bottom of this. You can bet the bank on that, Karen.
I sure hope so. You can't even feel comfortable in your own home. You know, I know we all have to live together, but gosh, I didn't expect to be living next to people who aren't even alive.
Well, this will all be over come Saturday night. I got a plan. Get rid of them zombies once and for all. Look at this.
How did you get that?
I'm a man of the people, Karen. People share things with me.
I guess so. And you know why? Because you're awesome, Bill. Awesome.
Thank you.
I really hope this works out.
Oh, it's going to be a party on Saturday night, believe me.
This is going to be great. I hope we can pull it off, man.
We will.
Wow, okay. You surprised me.
They're going to be scared stiff, and they're going to run.
You're awesome, Bill.
Karen, give Bill my best.
I'll see you Saturday night.
All right.
Okay, all right.
It's Kevin Hart for Fabletics Men. Fabletics Men offers value no other brand can
Thanks
beat.
Commercial. Awesome. Crystal, is that your
Yes, she directed that. Hopefully it gets green lit. Oh, Crystal's backstage.
I just wanted to thank you for playing that. I really appreciate it. And Monday nights, I really dedicate myself to getting my writing out. And the funny thing is, when I came back in, I didn't hear what was going on with Octavia, but I saw that Kia came in and everything. And I also want to inspire her. See, and it's so funny because I get in my head too, just like Jay was talking about. I get in my head a lot. And it's so funny because even with my review show, sometimes I don't think I do well with just me on camera. So just like Jay called you up and out of the blue, not knowing you, or, you guys just started collabing after a while. Literally, Misha Allen, I reached out to her on Instagram and said, hey, do you want to start doing this? And she said, absolutely. And so you just never know. And we have a great collaborative spirit. And then Kia and I were talking one day, and I said, I've always wanted to do something like that. And she said, hey, so have I. And then CMK was born. So every Friday night we have a fun show Friday nights. And so you just never know how things get birthed out of just, that's why when I'm in Kojo's show and I'm moderating Kojo's show, I'm always saying, hey, family, how are you guys doing? Let's make sure and show Kojo some love, because that's how we all, grew and got to know each other. But with that, showing that trailer, that's such a help, because the trailer is going to help. The pilot's already written. So we just need to get funding to shoot the pilot, because that trailer was a certain amount, because that's a 4-minute trailer. But when you're working independent, you got to kind of work backwards. So that gains interest to the right people, to the people with the deep pockets and the studios and everything. And then we can get the money to shoot a 30-minute pilot. The pilot. So that's a huge help. And even with my men's show, I got in my head, literally, because y'all see me, when people get in the comments and be talking about Maria on Maria's channel, and I get mad. So I said, Crystal, and people got to talk me down. I thought to myself, I don't want to do a men's show, because I don't want people to get at me in the comments. And I definitely don't want to I don't want to have anybody get on these guys. And I said, you know what, Crystal, you've always had this in your head to think about it. So just do it and see what happens. So, yeah.
Shawn,
got it. So that's the link. That's the link right there for anybody that's not subscribed to Crystal Lynette's channel. That link will take you right to the trailer and to her channel main page.
And this next project, I'm doing all by myself, because they said they saw how hard I work. So they're like, Crystal, this next project we're shooting in January, you take it all on by yourself. So that's huge.
That's awesome, Crystal.
Great job. I love it.
Well, we are excited for you, and we will continue to support you. And then welcome to the neighborhood. So it looks like a twist on Karen and the horror genre.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm not going to take up your show, but I just want to inspire you guys, and just like, I didn't hear the whole thing, but thank you guys for showing that.
Oh, we appreciate you.
You're welcome. Appreciate you.
Talk to y'all later.
All right, talk to you later.
Awesome. I love it. See, that's what I'm saying. Black people are supporting Black people. If we don't do it for ourselves, ain't nobody gonna do it for us. So definitely, we definitely got to get it going.
Yes. That is it. I don't know about you, Jay, but I am tired.
Same. I was like, I don't know. We'd have talked about all
we
kinds
went
of
over. We usually do 2 hours. We went long, but it was a good conversation.
Mm-hmm. It was a needed conversation.
I think we talked about a lot of things. We talked about support, friendship. We talked about some of these crazy shows we're keeping up with, some good movies that are out there. We were able to show support to some of our fellow another rounders. So that, that's what it's all about, if you ask me.
And definitely, and I want to give a shout out to Kia, Crystal, Seaway for coming up here, sharing with us as well. Thank you all in the chat for breathing through both me and Shawn's rants, as Shawn like to say, just bumping our gums and stuff. We ain't got to that point. We ain't got our teeth yet, but
it's still firm in there.
Right. And Octavia, make sure you send us that information, sweetheart, because we do want to support. Once you get it all the way together and you're ready to share, we're here for you. We'll definitely be here to support your progress, your business, and everything. And anybody else up in here that is watching, you guys are supporting us. So it's only fair that we support you in return, a little goes a long way. I got a few of y'all following and watching now, and I would be up here if nobody was watching and waiting for the one to come. So I thank you guys all from the bottom of my heart. I know Shawn thanks you guys. He's good at his benediction, so I won't steal his shine from him because that's his new job now.
Well, I think we said it all. We appreciate you. We thank you for spending time with us this evening. For each and every person, whether you commented, whether you shared, whether you're just listening, whether you stepped on the platform, we appreciate you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Another round, JS. We want to keep putting out this content for you guys. Keep having our another round open chats. Where we mix open dialogue with TV, with movies, with everything. And I hope you took away some things from our chat tonight, whether it was evaluating yourself from an accountability standpoint, evaluating your friendships, the people that are in your circle, and determining if they still need to be there, and being open and making room for new people to come in. And realizing those new people can bless you just as equally. So again, we thank you. God bless you. Appreciate you. Have a good night. Stay safe. And we'll see you real soon. So keep your notifications on.